Have you ever seen a man walk into a room and instantly change the atmosphere? He doesn't say a word. He doesn't try to take over the space. But somehow, everyone feels his presence, especially women. Now here's the truth no one talks about. Most women aren't drawn to looks. Not really. Not to money. Not even to a charming personality. They're pulled towards something else. Something that can't be faked. Something most men don't even know how to build. It's a quiet strength, a deep sense of control, an unshakable presence. Let me take you back to someone I once met on a remote mountain retreat. His name was Marcus. He wasn't flashy, he didn't dress to impress, he barely spoke. But women noticed him, not because he was trying to be noticed, but because he didn't need to be. He sat calmly in the corner, spoke when needed, and moved with intention. And somehow, everyone respected him. That's when it hit me. This wasn't some act. This was the real power of a man who mastered himself. Marcus lived by something ancient, a code older than any modern dating strategy, Stoicism, but not the stiff, emotionless version people think of. I'm talking about real inner strength, the kind that radiates through silence, that speaks without needing to say anything. In today's world, most men are addicted to reaction. They need validation, approval, recognition. They talk too much, post too much, chase too much, and it's killing their power, because what no one tells you is this. When you stop needing attention, you begin to command it. Stoicism teaches the opposite of what modern culture sells you. It teaches stillness over performance, control over chaos, presence over pretending. Women feel it instantly. They can tell the difference between a man who's whole and a man who's pretending to be. See, women aren't looking for perfection. They're drawn to emotional certainty, to men who don't collapse when things get hard, who don't panic when things go quiet. And that kind of energy is rare. So, how do you get there? It starts with understanding that you are enough without performance. You don't need to convince anyone. You just need to anchor yourself so deeply in who you are that nothing on the outside can pull you off balance. When you speak less and observe more, you gain clarity. You become harder to manipulate. You stop reacting to temporary emotions. You become solid. Think about how many men fall apart over small things. A delayed text, a bad date, a silent moment. They start questioning their worth. They chase, they beg, they lose themselves. But the Stoic man, he stays still. He lets the storm pass. And when it does, he's still standing. That's the kind of presence women can't ignore. Not because you tried, but because you didn't need to. You didn't fold. You didn't chase. You didn't act from fear. You stayed grounded. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. You attract more by caring less. Not in a cold or arrogant way, but by building such a strong inner world that you don't need approval to feel valuable. That's when people, especially women, start leaning in. They want to know what you know. They want to feel what you feel. Because in a world full of noise, stillness is magnetic. It's not about being emotionless. It's about knowing which emotions to act on and which ones to master in silence. When you stop over-explaining, stop defending yourself, stop proving your worth, you become the kind of man who stands out without effort. And that's what 97% of women feel, even if they can't explain it. They're drawn to calm, to presence, to power that isn't forced. It's not about muscles. It's not about wealth. It's about certainty. And certainty is built in quiet moments, when no one's watching, when you could react, but don't, when you could chase, but stay still, It's in those small choices that the Stoic man is born. So, if you're tired of being overlooked, tired of chasing, tired of trying so hard to be seen, stop. Stop chasing the external. Start mastering the internal. Become the kind of man who doesn't need anyone to feel whole. And watch what happens. You'll speak less, but when you do, people listen. You'll move slower, but every move will have weight. You'll attract women, not by charm, but by energy. That's Stoic masculinity. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need to perform. It just is. And once you live like this, you'll realize something powerful. You don't chase attention. It finds you. And the right people? They'll stay. Not because you begged, but because your presence gave them something they didn't know they were missing. That kind of man is unforgettable. That kind of man is you, if you choose it.